That brings us to 2.0, changes to the agenda. I have none at this time.
Move it.
So I have a motion to accept the agenda as it is. I need a second.
Second.
Have a motion by Dr. White, a second by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
So it carries unanimously, Mary. That brings us to an exciting section, Section 3, recognitions. 3.1 is recognition of the Okaloosa County School District for the anti-vaping campaign presented by Elizabeth Smith, Health Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Okaloosa County. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you. On behalf of the Florida Department of Health and Tobacco Free Florida and students working against tobacco, we would like to honor the Okaloosa County School District for your efforts in the anti-vaping campaign. We're grateful for your efforts and partnership in educating your staff, students, and parents on the dangers of anti-vaping and encouraging students to make choices that are positive for their health and for their education. We look forward to continuing our partnership and preventing students from using these devices and supporting those who want to start their quit journey. And thank you on behalf of for prioritizing this pressing public health concern, because we certainly realize that it takes a village. So who may I present this plaque to?
And before we present it, I just want to say, from our school district, thank you. This is something that is very important to us. And like we said several school board meetings ago, the support that we have from the community is incredible. And the Department of Health, the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Department, Eglin, and of course, like I said, you being a huge partner in this is something that we absolutely appreciate. So thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Kelly,
Thank you,
can you
Ms.
join me?
Smith.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And we do appreciate the Health Department for their partnership and for this award. Thank you, Ms. Smith. That brings us to another exciting recognition, 3.2, recognition of Ms. Whitney Walker, Baker School, recipient of the inaugural Florida Prepaid Superintendent Scholarship, presented by Mr. Chambers.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. So, the very first Florida Prepaid Superintendent Scholarship, and I have to say that when Whitney's name was brought to me, I was extremely excited. And I'll say this because I'm going to give a little bit about the criteria of the scholarship. But this is a young lady who's on the Youth Leadership Council, FCA, is a leader not only for Baker, but is a leader in the school district. So it warmed my heart very much to see you being the very first student to receive this award. And I want to say that this is a partnership with Florida Prepaid, and there's certain criteria that you have to fill. And the very first priority is you want to get into education, you want to be a teacher one day. And that's something that I think each and every one of us up here, principals who are in the room, that'll probably try to scoop you up as soon as you graduate from college, right? But also, you had to submit, you had to fill out an application, you had to submit your transcripts, you had to submit your SAT, ACT type scores, you had to have community service hours, and then you had to do a 2-minute video essay explaining why you want to be an educator one day. So all of this was taken into account, and this young lady is a great, great recipient to be the very first. And I'll probably say the only person, Whitney, that might have been more excited for you to be chosen might be someone over to my right over here, and Miss Ivanchek, who I know was smiling, beaming from ear to ear because it's one of her Baker Gators.
Go Gators!
And before I call you up, I also think that there might be a board member who wants to say something as well.
What? You think I have something to say about this? Well, it has been a true pleasure getting to know Whitney through the years that I've been her school board member. First met her actually through her cousins up there and doing things. She's all over the place doing a variety of things. She's a cheerleader. I was thrilled to follow her with the volleyball, and they got number 2 in the state this year, and I was along for that ride. I've met her, and when we go up and speak to students, Whitney's usually in that group, has some wonderful questions and statements. She truly is that all-around student. When you think of an all-around great student, it's Whitney Walker. And then you add to her that beautiful smile every time you see her. She's just charming. And like I said, it was thrilling. I did not know that she had been chosen. I attended their senior honors day, and you kept that one from me. And I was sitting there, and I tend to not be real shy about expressing my emotions, and I was just thrilled when she came up. And so I cannot wait to see about her future. We've really bonded this year. We've had several Chick-fil-A meals together there at the school, and that's bonding. So Whitney, you have made not only your family, but your Baker family and the Okaloosa County School District family so proud of you and what you're doing, and you truly are a role model for what we want to come out of our school district. So I can't tell you how thrilled I am, and congratulations.
And with this being the very first recipient, other board members might have some words.
I'll say something. I was sitting next to Miss Ivanchek when this was announced, and true it was. She was really excited. No, congratulations, Whitney. I know you're a testament to your school, and you're going to do amazing things as you progress in your life. And we know you're going to come back to Okaloosa County to teach, correct? All right.
Well, congratulations, congratulations. And we look forward to offering you that contract.
Yep. And
For sure.
this is 4 years, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We might
For
get her
sure.
on an accelerated program.
And I'll just echo what everyone else has said. It's always a pleasure to see young people strive to reach their goals and to have already begun on that journey with such an admirable start. That is just exhilarating to see. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for what you're going to do in the future.
All right, Whitney, why don't you come forward? I'll put you on the spot just a little bit because I've seen you in action. Is there anything that you might want to say?
Well, it's just such an honor to be up here and to be able to be the first recipient of this. I love Baker. I've gone there my whole life for 13 years. So to be able to hear not only somebody like vouch for our school like Miss Linda Vanchek does, but just watching you guys get to pour into our school and learning how to do it through the youth council and many opportunities like that, I've really, understood the importance of what you guys do, not only for our whole entire county, but also just for schools like Baker. So thank you guys, and then again, thank you for this awesome scholarship. I'm so honored.
Please tell them
Nice
what
job.
you're going to do this summer, where you're going.
July 8th, I leave for Africa for a mission trip. I'm going to be gone for 10 days. I'm building a church, and I'm also going to be volunteering in a local orphanage.
That is super.
Fantastic.
Yep.
All right, Ms. Vanchek, if you join me.
I think so. The very first time. Hi, how are you? Thank you. Oh, I want to just. I don't want one of you right now. Thank you. So proud of you, girl. You're a star.
All right. I neglected to remind us that at 6:15, we will need to take a break for public hearing. So we may have time to squeeze in Section 4.1, appointment of Assistant Principal 2, 10-month to Florissa Elementary School, recommended by the superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I present to you Mr. Joey Chancellor for your consideration.
All right. So we have someone presented to us for consideration. I need a motion.
I'll move it.
Moved by Ms. Evanchik. I need a
Second.
second. Seconded by Dr. White. All in favor?
Aye.
And it carried unanimously. Ms. Mary, I have time for one more. So Section 4.2, appointment of Assistant Principal 1, 10-month at Baker School, recommended by the superintendent for approval.
Thank you, Madam Chair and School Board. I bring before you Miss Elizabeth Richards. Miss Richards is a proud product of the Okaloosa County school system. She attended Walker Elementary, Davidson Middle School, and graduated from Crestview High School. Following high school, Miss Richards attended the University of South Alabama, where she received a bachelor's degree in elementary education in 2006. She taught fourth grade for 12 years at Antioch Elementary. In 2015, she was honored as the Teacher of the Year for Antioch. In 2017, Ms. Richards took a leap of faith and moved to Baker School, where she taught 7th and 8th grade ELA for 3 years, and for the last 2 years, she has served as the Dean of Students at Baker School. In 2019, Ms. Richards completed her master's degree in educational leadership from the University of West Florida. Ms. Richards has been married to her supportive husband, Carson Richards, for 17 years, and together they share 3 wonderful sons, Michael, Carter, Tucker, who are all Baker Gators.
Very good. So with that, I need a motion.
I'll move it.
Moved by Ms. Evanchik. I need a second.
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
And it carried unanimously.
Thank you so much, and good evening. I'm truly thrilled to be here and accept the assistant principal role at Baker. Thank you so much, Mr. Chambers, and the rest of the school board members for entrusting me with this new position and giving me the opportunity to work with the Baker faculty and staff to support our school. I've worked at Baker School for the last 5 years, 2 of which were in the dean position and 3 years that were in the classroom, and I've come to love the community feel of our school and feel blessed to get to stay at Baker. Working with Ms. Hurley and Ms. Stewart, Mr. Martello, Mr. Taylor, and Mr. Mann ensured that I learned something new every day. The teachers and staff have made me a part of their Baker family, and I'm so proud to have the opportunity to continue to serve the Baker community. But what really got me here tonight is the support of the people in my life. I must recognize the love and support offered to me by my husband, Carson, and our 3 sons, Michael, Carter, and Tucker. These guys are always my biggest fans, even when juggling all of our events makes me a little difficult. My father-in-law, Ronnie, kept encouraging me and reminding me that it was okay to chase this dream, even while balancing the role of mom. Before that, progressively, we go back to the beginning of my educational career, where Miss Robinson, my first principal, set the bar high for what it meant to be a supportive, demanding, and inspiring leader, and lit the fire in me to one day seek out an assistant and maybe one day eventually a principal role. I used to tell my husband all the time, I want to be her when I grow up. Additionally, my Antioch family, starting in 2006 and going through 2018, that's where I learned to be a teacher and an educational leader. Mr. Chambers, too, might remember speaking to me early in my career at Antioch and asking me when I planned to start my master's in leadership. He planted a seed, and it just kept growing. Before that, credit goes to my mom and dad. My dad, we lost last March, and he was my biggest cheerleader. If he could have been here tonight, he would have been in the front row, and he would have been hollering and cheering me on and totally embarrassing me. He would have been proud to see me move into this role that's been a long-term goal of mine. He and my mom have always supported me and pushed me. That's why I'm the first person in my family that earned a bachelor's degree and then a master's degree. During my childhood, they instilled the idea that education is the key that unlocks the doors of opportunity. I have them to thank for helping me reach this opportunity, along with all of the wonderful Okaloosa County teachers who shaped my educational path from kindergarten all the way through graduation. And then there's my best friend, Kristen. We were neighbors, and we played school from the time we were 7 or 8 until we were at least 13. She and I always knew we belonged in the front of a classroom, and we're blessed to both be able to teach in Okaloosa County. I'm so happy to accept this new position, to be given the chance to continue supporting our county, helping teachers, help students find opportunities that only come through education. All of you Baker people can come Yeah, everybody. Yeah, tight sun kiss, the way to my heart. Do we need to like scoot?
Some may have to
Oh,
go
super.
back.
Here, you guys get where I need us to go.
I feel like Mr. Martella.
You can't see my hand, the camera's not gonna see you, so. There you go.
Come on this way, you gotta be in the window.
There you go. I can't see you, just step in front.
So at this time, we will take a break and enter into public hearing to address 2 items. That would be scrolling all the way down to section 15. The first item is 15.1, public hearing for adoption of revised school board policy 06-33, administrative leave, suspension, and dismissal of employees, presented by Dr. Hale, Assistant Superintendent. Is anyone here this evening to address this item? Seeing none, I need a motion to approve.
Move it.
Oh, okay. I'll
Moved by
second
Dr.
it.
White, seconded by Ms. Ivanchuk. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried unanimously. The second item under public hearing for this evening is 15.2, public hearing for textbook adoption, that is instructional materials, presented by Ryan Gore, Curriculum and Instruction. Is anyone here tonight to address this item? Seeing none, I need a motion to approve.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion. However, I do have a question. I see Mr. Gore here, so, but I'll make the motion.
And I'll second it.
So moved by Dr. White, seconded by Mr. Bryant, and Mr. Gore is making his way forward for a question.
Thank you, Mr.
Ryan.
Chambers, for letting Mr. Gore come forward. Mr. Gore, I just have one question about these textbooks, and I
Sure.
think I know the answer, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Sure.
Are all of these textbooks state adopted?
Yes, sir, they are.
All right, that's it. Thank
Very
you.
good. Anyone else? All right. So I have a motion and a second. I need to call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And it passed unanimously, Mary. Okay, and that brings us back to section 4, and we were on 4.3, if I remember correctly. 4.3 is appointment of assistant principal to 10-month Eglin Elementary School. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair and School Board. I bring before you Mr. Darren Everidge. Mr. Everidge was born and raised in Opp, Alabama. Once completing high school, Mr. Everidge attended Laureline B. Wallace Junior College and then transferred to Auburn University. While attending Auburn, Mr. Everidge worked in the Students with Disabilities office, where he and his staff would ensure accommodations for the students they served. Mr. Everidge graduated in 2001 with a Bachelor's of Science degree in elementary education. He then continued his education at Auburn, where he pursued a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in theater design and performance. Once finishing at Auburn, Mr. Everidge started his 17 years of experience in education, the majority of which in the elementary setting. He also has worked as a reading interventionist and an academic coach for a middle school. Mr. Everidge received his master's in educational leadership from George Mason University in 2018. Since then, he has served as the administrator for an alternative school summer recovery program for a high school, administrator for ESY at a middle school, and is currently the Dean of Students at Elliott Point Elementary. Mr. Everidge.
So I have a recommendation. I need a motion.
Move it.
Moved by Mr. Bryant. I need a second.
Second it?
Seconded by Ms. Evanchik. All in favor?
Aye.
And carried unanimously. So,
First, I would like to thank you, Mr. Chambers, and the school board for this exciting opportunity. I would also like to thank Ms. Morris for putting trust in myself as serving as her new assistant principal. Secondly, I would like to thank all of my family and friends, ranging from Alabama to Washington, D.C., in supporting and encouraging me along this journey. Without the love and support they have continuously given me, none of this would be possible. I would also like to thank my chosen family at Elliott Point Elementary School, where a lot of them are here tonight, embracing me as one of their own. As Scott Nuss, the principal, once pointed out, once an eagle, always an eagle. I would like to personally thank Mr. Nuss, along with Ms. Johnson, the assistant principal, Ms. Cave, the guidance counselor, Ms. Susan, Ms. Tammy, and Ms. Vicky, for opening their doors, to which created more doors to be opened. Another person contributing to this success is Ms. Massey from Floresta Elementary School. I would like to thank her for her feedback, support, and words of encouragement. Coming from a military family where my grandfather served in the Army and my dad served in the Air Force, along with myself being a military spouse, it is my honor to serve those who have served us as the new assistant principal at Eglin Elementary School. As Jimmy Dean once said, I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. Today, I am adjusting my sails to reach my new destination of Eglin Elementary School. Go Eagles. Thank you very much.
nicely done. Thank you.
We love each other. That's right.
And we have one final appointment for this evening, 4.4, appointment of principal, Longwood Elementary School, recommended by the superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair and School Board. I bring before you Ms. Lisa Tucker. Ms. Tucker has had the privilege to serve in a variety of classroom and district leadership positions during her more than 25 years in education. Ms. Tucker earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in English from Judson College, a Master of Arts in K-12 education from Tusculum University, school counseling certification through the University of West Alabama, and a Master's in Educational Leadership from the American College of Education. Ms. Tucker is a member of TESOL International, Alpha Delta Kappa, and is an adjunct professor for Northwest Florida State College. She is married to Dr. Bobby Tucker, pastor of Grace Church in Walton County. Prior to joining the Okaloosa County School District, Ms. Tucker served in Georgia as a district coordinator for ELA and World Languages. She's also served as a principal of a private K-12 elementary school. During her time in Okaloosa, Ms. Tucker was appointed as the district specialist, coordinating English for speakers of other languages, fine arts, and world language programs. Most recently, she has served as the assistant principal for Destin Middle School. Ms. Tucker is a champion for elementary school teachers and students. She's passionate about exploring instructional strategies to support academic achievement for all students. She looks forward to serving and learning with the students and staff at Longwood Elementary School. Ms. Tucker.
So I have a recommendation from the superintendent. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Moved by Dr. White. I need a second.
And I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
And it carries unanimously.
Goodness. Honorable board members, Dr. Kelly, Mr. Chambers, this means the world. This is the highlight of my professional career. And I'm humbled, I'm honored to accept this appointment to Longwood Elementary School. That school has been dear to my heart for a long time. I've admired them and I'm ready to champion them and get to work. I am so supported by my family. My mom and sister are waving from the great state of Alabama tonight. And of course, Dr. Bobby Tucker behind me, who's beside me every day, and God uses him every minute, my dear husband, to remind me of my purpose in this life. Also, bittersweet tonight is a little distance now created by my good friend and my colleague and my principal, Belinda Small. Dr. Small radiates professionalism and positivity, and if I can take 1 ounce of her to my new role, we will be having a great year. She is beautiful inside and out, and I will miss the Marlin Nation. I'm also deeply indebted to Jeff Palmer, who's a constant support of wisdom and encouragement. To Dr. Hale, we have the most stellar Level 2 leadership program, it has to be, in the nation. He makes that happen. I'm so thankful for him. And I've mentioned before, Assistant Superintendent Sheila Lightbourne. I admire her. I want to be her when I grow up. She is strong, she's brave, and she fiercely protects what's right for students. We call her Uhtred. Mr. Chambers, to you, I am reminded every day of what it means to be a visionary leader and a person of integrity. So I thank you for modeling that for me and for giving me so many opportunities. And this appointment is all the more special because you walk those halls as principal of Longwood. And I'll remember that, and I will call you often. I'm really thankful for your trust in me. This is huge. And now to my new Longwood family. I cannot wait to be a leopard. I can't believe they're here tonight. It's summertime, and I know they have fun things planned, but I am so humbled by their support tonight. For the students and families, I'm coming for you. I am coming for you. I have a passion to serve you. I cannot wait to meet the community. We are going to make learning gains, and we are going to learn something new every day, and we're going to have fun doing it. I cannot wait. And teachers and staff, I'm coming for you too. As I've said, I've admired you for a long time now, and I'm convinced you are under-celebrated, and we're going to do some celebrating. I know we have a showcase of talent in this beautiful little school, and we are going to be an innovative learning center. a spotlight in the district and a spotlight for the world. I am ready to change the world with these leopards. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ms. Dahl. Thank you so
All of these beautiful people.
I'm still here.
Let's put that down with
Well, you'll get Sheila right on Yes, we're in Stockbridge tomorrow.
She's shy.
Love you.
So I think since we have so many people here to see these appointees, we'll give about a minute for everyone to clear out and be able to take pictures outside and enjoy chatting with each other. Thank you so much for coming and supporting these new appointees. Isn't that wonderful, seeing all this excitement? It's about 6:38. 6:33. It's a good thing I looked with my glasses. I know. It's a good thing I looked with my glasses. I said it's 6:38. It's 6:33. It sure does. And these are not strong enough yet.
I've gotten the max you can buy over the counter now.
I know. That's going to be a sad day for me. I hope my cataracts get worse quickly so I can have surgery.
Connie had that. And then she got flu.
Oh, no.
She had to go get spaced.
I have floaters now that look like little worms.
Dr. Gupta did the hysterectomy.
I've seen his office and his name, but I've never been to him. I've heard good things.
Cataract surgery. Thank God. About 6 to 8.
I know Bill and his mother both used one in Pensacola. I don't remember her name, but she was wonderful. They both loved her there. They had the cataracts and the cornea. Okay. As soon as the door closes. Okay. I think that brings us down now to section 5, which would be the blue card version of public comment. And tonight I have none of those. So that brings us to section 6, committee and staff reports, which was for the workshop only. Consent agenda, we had 41 items. So I need a motion to approve and accept all 41 of those.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bryant. I need a second.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ms. Evanchik.
And Madam Chair, just a note for the board, on item 7.15, there have been some additional revisions, proposed revisions to those code of conducts consistent with some new state legislation.
Thank you. I saw that come in late today. Thank you for that, Mr. McGinnis. So, did I have a motion?
Right.
And I second it.
And seconded by Ms. Evancheck. So all in favor?
Aye.
And it carried unanimously, Ms. Mary. That brings us to Section 8, Superintendent's Human Resources Recommendations. 8.1 was information only, as was 8.2. 8.3, Information Systems Department restructure, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent for approval.
Move it.
Moved by Dr. White,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
And it carried unanimously. 8.4, Curriculum Department restructure, presented by Dr. Hale. Need a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bryant,
I'll second it.
seconded by Ms. Sovancek. All in favor?
Aye.
And that, too, carried unanimously. 8.5, Employment Separations, presented by Dr. Hale.
I'll move it.
Moved by Ms. Sovancek,
Second.
seconded by Dr. White. All in favor?
Aye.
And carries unanimously. 8.6, Personnel Recommendations, presented by Dr. Hale.
I'll move it.
Moved by Dr. White.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
And that carries unanimously. 8.7, Employee Transfers, presented by Dr. Hale. Need
I'll
a
move it.
motion? Moved by Ms. Evancheck,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries unanimously. 8.8, Reinstatement, reimbursement of sick leave due to line of duty illness, injury, or medical exam, presented by Dr. Hale.
Move it.
Moved by Mr. Bryant,
I'll second it.
seconded by Ms. Evancheck. Call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And it carries unanimously. 8.0, Leave Without Pay, presented by Dr. Hale.
So
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Dr. White, seconded by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And it carries unanimously. Section 9, Discussion Agenda. We had nothing moved to that section tonight. Section 10, I know that we have an invigorating program status report by the board's representative to the construction committee tonight. Mr. Bryant?
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. And yes, we had a very robust meeting today. And as you can see, we have all the task orders in front of you. I am going to go ahead and highlight some. We're going to start with task order number 12.
Excuse me. I didn't get one.
Oh,
Here you go. I've already glanced at it.
okay.
Oh, here you go.
That's
There you go.
okay.
Thank you. I'm
You got
sorry to
another one?
interrupt.
Thank
Okay.
you. That's okay. So task order number 12, and these are the district-wide sales tax construction projects, starting with the multi-purpose buildings, updates at Fort Walton Beach High School. A transformer was delivered and installed by Florida Power and Light. Concrete for mechanical yard was placed, and we have some exterior electrical rough-in continues in advance of condensing unit installation. Installation of wiring electric panels is ongoing. Basketball goals and court partition were installed. We had some ductwork. Rough-in is complete and awaiting HVAC unit installation at the mezzanine, and aluminum covers at exterior doors were installed. Interior painting is complete. I will say, before I go on, some of our issues of being able to move in on time has been all the electrical work. We're still waiting for electrical parts to come in. So as much as we would love to have these facilities open, some of them open by the time school starts, not all of them are going to be ready due to that because of the supply chain issue. Crestview High School, their electrical roughing continues. The brick veneer installation is complete. Plumbing work in the restrooms is complete. Interior painting is ongoing. Fire protection piping installation is complete. Ductwork installation is ongoing. Baker School, installation of pre-engineered metal building is complete with all wall and ceiling panels in place. Interior framing is complete. Exterior underground utility installation, water, sewer, and electrical is ongoing. Electrical interior rough-in work has begun. Choctawhatchee High School, interior framing has begun. The mezzanine structure has been erected. Interior painting of structure is complete. And Niceville High School, rerouting of existing underground utilities is complete to allow for the start of the foundation excavation. And I know everybody at Niceville is excited to see that. We did have to do a lot of work moving things around to get to this point, but it's going to be nice once we get done with that there. The classroom addition, Silver Sands School, We do expect this one to be ready to go by the beginning of the school year. Sidewalks and ramps were installed, epoxy flooring in the restrooms was installed, light fixtures have been installed in the ceiling grid. The HVAC above the ceiling rough-in is complete. Electrical rough-in is complete. Installation of a new storm sewer piping to retention pond has begun. Elliott Point Elementary School, aluminum canopy installation is complete and sidewalks replaced. The transformer was delivered and installed by FPL. Interior finish coats of paint are being applied. Site demolition is complete at the location of the new parking lot. Structured cabling and security cabling installation has begun. Overhead HVAC, electrical and plumbing rough-in work is complete. Crestview High School installation of windows is complete. Ceiling grid and lights are in place. Overhead HVAC, electrical and plumbing rough-in work is complete. Interior painting is complete and ceramic tile has been installed on the restroom walls. Construction of exterior elevated sidewalks and ramp is ongoing. And finally, Laurel Hill School, the installation of the aluminum walkway canopies has begun. Ceiling grid and lights are in place. Overhead HVAC, electrical and plumbing rough-in work is complete. Interior painting is complete. And ceramic tiles have been installed on the restroom walls, and air handlers are installed in the mechanical closets. As for the cafetoriums, Edwin Elementary, the erection of the structural steel frame is complete. Wright Elementary, the main slab and the elevated slabs were placed. Erection of red iron structure to begin soon. Ruckel Middle School, under slab electrical and plumbing rough-in is complete and slab is ready to be placed. Plough Elementary, excavation work for foundations was completed and form work and rebar cages were placed. Concrete foundations were placed. And Bob Sykes Elementary School, construction fencing is in place and clearing for the building pad has begun. We did have to move some playground equipment around and that has been done. And finally, Shalimar Elementary School, site demolition is complete and building pad is being prepped. And the retention pond was excavated and rough graded. And there is one addition on here that we put on here. At Crestview High School, the dining room expansion project is well underway. Interior demolition of walls, ceilings, and chilled water piping system is complete. Tile and mastic at ROTC has been abated. Existing roof and roof penthouse and mechanical units were removed, and the new curbs are being installed. Task order number 16, this is the roofing and canopy projects at Choctaw High School and Lewis. Phase 1 work at Lewis and Choctaw Roofs is 100% complete. A GMP for Phase 2 front entry projects was submitted and approved at the May 22nd meeting, and those projects are out for bid. Task order number 17, roof replacement at Blue Water and Walker. Roofing work at Blue Water is complete except for the bell tower entry canopy, which will be done as soon as material arrives. And work at Walker has begun. As a matter of fact, I was by there yesterday, and there's pallets of roofing material there, so they are well underway. Task order number 19, Richburg School if I can get it all out, Richburg School Building 12 renovations. A GMP was submitted and approved, and that project is out to bid. And for those that might be wondering what Building 12, if you're familiar with the old Richburg Junior High Middle School, that was actually the front office, and that's going to be turned into classrooms and other facilities for the school. Task order number 20 is the 2022-2023 priority roofing projects. Longwood Elementary project tear-off and drying work is complete at the main building. Work is ongoing at the perimeter wall and expansion joints. A contract has been awarded for roofing work at Laurel Hill, Crestview, and Richburg. Contractors will begin their work at Laurel Hill School once Trimco materials have arrived. After work is complete at Laurel Hill, the contractor will move to Richburg, and remaining contracts or projects will be bid over the course of the next few months. Task order number 21, and I was talking to Ms. Tucker about this before the meeting, and this is Longwood Elementary's classroom renovation. They started right after school let out, and interior demolition work has begun as soon as furniture and all was removed. We were told that everybody was shocked when 40 people showed up to get started on everything. I think they were thinking that they would have a little bit more time to get everything out, but everything was done and the work has begun and is on schedule. That should be done by the time school starts. This is so nice because we have so many things to talk about. It used to be, we didn't have anything to talk about. But I do have a few more items here. Task order number 24, the Central Administration Complex renovation Phase 1. The GMP has been submitted and approved for Phase 1, and a general contractor has been awarded a contract. Long lead materials, HVAC equipment have been ordered within the next few weeks. Additional abatement work will be completed in the area that is now vacant. A construction barrier will be installed to separate the work area from the rest of the building, and demolition will begin with ceilings removed, and fire sprinkler system piping modifications will be the first items to address. And when I asked the question, when will this be ready, we were told that Ms. Perry said it has to be done before February, or we can't move anybody in until after the budget season. So our goal is to get it ready by February.
Ms. Perry said it, that's where we are.
That's where we are. Task order number 29, this is the CTE renovations at Crestview High School and Titan Commercial Building. A GMP for the CTE nursing project in Fort Walton Beach was developed with a reduced scope of work. It was submitted and approved at the May 8th board meeting. The permitting process through the county has begun with initial approval given by the fire marshal. Additional signatures are needed from the building owner, and we are coordinating the completion of those forms with CTE and the landlord, and a general contractor has been selected, and the construction process has begun. And of course, we all know how important that CTE building is going to be for our premier nursing program. That is going to be the talk of the state, if not the country. Task order number 30, time and materials, construction of new electrical services at Lewis School and Crestview High School with upgrades at Niceville High School. Work at Niceville High School is complete. The work at Crestview High School is 90% complete, with the minor change order work being approved and the work commencing to provide power to the new Musco panel. And just so y'all know, these are the stadium lights and all that are going to be, that are already at Crestview and Niceville, and these are the additions to Lewis. So the Lewis School, they're going to have lights so they can do night games and all. Finally, task order number 35, the one we've been talking about for the last couple of months, and it's coming to fruition, is the new Crestview K-8 school and Destin Elementary School 4th and 5th grade center. We've assembled the design teams for each project and have had initial scoping meetings on both projects. Architects are finalizing the programming for the new K-8 school and will provide various options for review prior to commencing with the detailed design efforts. And the design team for the Destin 4-5 Center project has collected initial site data and feedback from the school on the conceptual plan for this project, and they are developing multiple schemes for review. And with that, Madam Chair, that is the construction report.
That is wonderful. Anybody have a question for Mr. Bryant?
Yeah, Mr. Bryant, so from what I'm seeing is the progress, seems like maybe we're able to get materials better than we were. We have, it's moving along pretty well.
Yes, so the materials, the building materials are not the issue right now. It's all the electrical.
But,
And-
we were having some problems.
Yes, yeah.
But that
so-
seems to have worked out.
Yes, all that has worked out. Dr. Smith, I believe that part is good. As a matter of fact, they're learning from all this now, and we're going ahead and ordering things way out in advance now so we can, anticipating the supply chain issue. So we're hoping that in the future, we don't run into these issues again because we've ordered ahead of time, way ahead of time. So, but like Joel said today, was it a transformer that just showed up out of, like we weren't even expecting it and it showed up, and of course they're not going to turn it down. And so that's how it works these days. It could be a couple months, it could be a couple days, but right now we're looking months behind.
And fortunately, the revenues are still, it's amazing how well the tax revenues are maintaining, or excelling, actually.
I
saw something
agree. I
that-
was at the beach a couple weeks ago, and every person I saw out there, I was saying, oh yeah, thank you for contributing to the half-cent
That's
sales
right.
tax.
Thank
So-
you.
So there are absolutely a lot of moving parts to the facilities
Yes.
budget and the facilities projects. When you think about the materials and the labor and the timelines and the scopes of work that everyone is dealing with, it is pretty phenomenal when you can look out and see dirt being moved and buildings coming up out of the ground. It's really awesome. So
Well, and
again,
if I can say real quick, Dr. Kelly, it's, and I know you served a couple of years on this committee, and, you know, it's just amazing to see how coordinated everybody is. And you're right, there is a lot of moving pieces in
Lot of
there.
moving parts.
And Joel and his team, and Bill and Steve and Grant, everybody that's involved in this, Mr. McInnes, it's just amazing to see how things are just rolling. And when you go to a school, one day you see it, the dirt, and the next thing you're seeing the building, you know.
a lot of handshakes go on
Yes.
to get it accomplished. Thank you, Mr. Bryant. So that moves us down to section 11, attorney's business.
No
Mr.
report
McGinnis.
tonight.
Thank you. Section 12, superintendent's business.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I provided several updates this morning at the board workshop, and I do not have any additional information at this time.
Thank you. That brings us to section 13, board members' announcements and requests for information. Ms. Evanchik, we did miss you this morning. We're glad you feel better.
You
So
know,
we'll
I was
start
going
with
to
you.
say, I wasn't here because I have been ill and got cleared, but I actually got some texts from individuals saying how low-key y'all were without me. And I'm going to take that as a compliment because I'm just going to do that. But they
We're
said,
on the down low when you're
sure
not
was
here."
quiet on the board this morning without you, Miss Evanchik. So we've been a little more lively. But I just,
He was taking care of business.
well, yes, you were. I mean, I didn't know if Dr. Kelly had put something out to y'all and said, hey, but I think it was more about, there was so much going on right before, and that was our first time getting back together after all the kind of excitement has moved over. But we had some great excitement tonight, so that buoyed us up, didn't it? So,
Absolutely.
did you want me to go ahead with
Yes,
my?
ma'am. Go
Okay,
right
may as
ahead.
well. First of all, Mr. Bryan, I want to congratulate you for being. I know we've mentioned a little before, but now it's official. You've gone down to the conference, and you are now the president-elect for the Florida School Board Association, and that says well about our area. And I do want to know, do we get any like free coupons or anything for knowing you? Like we say, I'm
Well,
with
I will
Mr.
just
Bryant.
say, I will just say that I'm humbled and honored that not only did the state association recognize me for that, but I'm also honored and humbled to represent our school board. And Dr. Kelly said it best this morning. We have such a great school district, and it's just an honor to serve with all of you and to represent not just Okaloosa County, but now the entire state of Florida.
Well, we're very proud of you and
Thank you.
and appreciate you taking on that role.
And Ms.
So-
Evanchik.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you don't mind. and
Sure.
We were at a conference in Tampa this past week, and I'll tell you, when you watch Mr. Bryant interact with other school board members, other superintendents, he's very well respected. But I think true to what he just said, when people would congratulate him, he would send that congratulations to Okaloosa, to his colleagues here on the school board. And I think that's a testament to the type of person he is and the leader that he is.
Absolutely, yes,
Thank
that's great. And then I've already seen on different Facebook pages and for schools and everything about kids already going to camp. And Mr. Chambers, when we recognize students and state champions and all that, you always make a point to say, this is the recognition part, but there's months and all that ahead when you're working to get to this recognition, and that's what's happening now. And I'm sure it's getting very hot out there, and your friends are going to the beach or sleeping in or whatever, and you've got to be at band camp or cheerleader camp, or you're going off. So I just want to tell these students it will pay off. And it takes a lot of time. I also want to thank the teachers and sponsors who help with that. And also want to tell the public, if you see that car wash or the lemonade stand or whatever it is that you see where they're raising money, because it's expensive to travel students to these things, please stop and do what you can to support those. And finally, it looks to me like it's going to be a summer of having to have a lot of patience. So I actually live in the south end, and we're looking at a new bridge. So we're dealing with that. Of course, that affects really everybody in Okaloosa County at some point or the other. On the north end, we've got new routes coming, continuing on that. We've got construction and road pavement. Every day there's things about which road is closed and all that. Along with all that, we have our own things that we're going to have to be patient about getting to. So it's certainly summer 23 is going to be the summer of having some patience. But how neat it's going to be when the school district has things done, our communities have, you know, better roads and bridges and all these things. It's going to take a little while, but I think it's going to be great. And once again, great to be in Okaloosa County. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Evanchik. Just like we missed you this morning, we missed Mrs. Gardner this
Yep,
evening,
tonight.
but we
Yep.
know she's with her mom, where she should be. So with that, we'll go to Mr. Bryant.
No other comments this morning, or this evening. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so much. Dr. White?
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. And just to follow up just a little bit on Ms. Evanchik's comments about summer programs and sports activities, I would just encourage parents to take a look at those social media accounts, Facebook and websites and so forth, because when I looked out there, it's amazing the number of opportunities for academics and for sports that our schools are offering this summer. And their schedules posted on those sites, and I would just encourage parents to take a look at that and have your children involved in those. That's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. White. Well, I'll just conclude by saying that we have a lot of unsung heroes in our district, and we do try to mention and give accolades where they are warranted, and certainly almost everyone in our district deserves those kudos. But I wanted to give a shout out to the summer feeding group program this evening. Those people fed students all summer long, and so I just wanted to thank them and let them know how special that is that they took their time to take care of our students who needed food and snacks over the summer. And I wanted to thank you, Mr. Superintendent, for your mentioning this morning about the ESSER funds and being prepared a year in advance, knowing that those funds are going to be gone, and we've relied upon them and we've appreciated them, but already thinking about what we're going to do so that we're still standing in good stead and getting the good work done in Okaloosa County schools when that day arrives. So thank you for that. And then, I hate Ms. Gardner's going to miss this because she always says she looks forward to this, but just to remind everyone that
No,
though
she's
we
watching.
are enjoying our summer right now, after tonight, there are 49 days remaining until it's time for our teachers to return for
Boo.
pre-planning, and 58 days remaining before our students are welcomed back into our buildings. That is why I know that everyone else on the staff is in those rooms or in their offices preparing and planning and working away late into the midnight hours many times. So I appreciate you guys for that too. Thank
That's the
you.
only countdown that's not as popular as your other ones. All those to Christmas and to end,
I
those
know.
are real good, but that one to.
It is
going back-
important though.
Yeah, it is, it is.
Thank you. And that's all I have.
And Madam Chair, we need to address item 13.1.
13.1, appointments to the Okaloosa County Value Adjustment Board. Thank you. So did you want to explain the background of that?
Well, the board has a position on that countywide board and annually designates one of its members to be part of that activity.
And currently we have, I believe, Ms. Evanchik.
Yeah, and I'd like to just say, I'll be glad to keep it unless someone is real excited about taking it on. I actually, enjoy that position. I'm glad to do
I think
it.
we're good with you.
But if someone else would like the opportunity, I certainly will back
I
down.
know I have served on there before, and it is exciting, but I will
I know.
second your nomination.
It's not
there,
the
so-
most glamorous, but it's an interesting thing, and
It
like I
is
said,
very-
I would
it
be
is very
glad
interesting.
to.
We've appreciated your serving. Thank you for that. And I think we have a
So Mr. Bryant's
motion.
made a motion.
A motion.
Yeah, so I'll make.
second.
Yeah.
And seconded by Dr. White. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
and there's an alternate.
And that's you, I think.
That's you, right?
Yes, I don't mind
But
staying
because
as the
she is
alternate.
the chair, I'll be happy to be the
Okay.
alternate. to
Super.
serve.
I'll make the motion for Mr. Bryant to be the alternate.
And I'll second
Super.
it.
So we have a motion and a second now.
And is Michael
it's-
Carroll going to still serve as the citizen?
As
Okay.
far as I know now,
Okay.
is that correct,
All right.
Mary? Okay.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And so that carried unanimously. Thank you both for serving,
Yes.
Mr. Bryant and Ms. Evanchik.
And thank you to our citizen member, too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So that brings us to section 14, the yellow card version of public comment, and I don't have any of those tonight. We've already had our public hearing. Anybody from the district staff have anything to offer or to add for the good of the order? Nothing? I don't see Jordan or Patrick with us, our union compadres this evening. So unless anybody else has something, we are adjourned. Thank you.